Good evening. My name is Thurman Greco, and I am coming to you from Woodstock, Educational Television Channel 23. And this program, within about 3 weeks, will be forwarded on to YouTube, where there are several years worth of programs on a channel called Let's Live with Thurman Greco. And tonight we have a very special young guest. And that's because, for me, the pandemic has been very real. But it's been real as an adult. We have not interviewed any young people to share their experiences. So this evening, I have a guest whose name is Kaiye.
Hi.
Kaiye, can you tell us a little bit about where you are? Do you live in Woodstock?
Yes, I live in Woodstock, and COVID has been weird for everybody, for my school, and I think every little kid that I've been with for a really long time. It's really.
And what school do you go to?
I go to Onteora.
You go to Onteora High School?
Yeah.
Yes. And now, was Onteora closed for a time?
Yeah, it's been closed, so I had to go hybrid. So it's been on remote for for 1 year actually, but then I came back into school recently this year.
So do they still have homeschooling now for students, or is everybody going to school now?
Everyone's going to school now.
Everybody goes?
Yes.
How does it feel to go back into school after a year?
It's really different. I just need to say that. It's been really weird, just going back to school, seeing new faces. Obviously with the masks, is really hard to tell about, if I knew them before, or if they just totally just grew up. And yeah, it's really weird going back to school.
Now, what grade are you in now?
I'm in 8th grade.
You're in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So you were in middle school.
Yes.
when the pandemic hit. And you were homeschooled for a year, right?
Yeah.
What did they call it?
It's like hybrid, so I wanted to go in school as much as I can, but there was a period of time where I couldn't go to school, so it was pretty much 3 days in school and then days that I have to be online at home.
How difficult was that?
For me, I kind of like to be online because I don't have to go to class and get tardies and be late. I kind of liked it, but other people could say that they didn't, but I liked it.
Okay, now do you ride a bus to school?
Yeah, I go on the bus.
Now, when you were hybrid, and how many days a week were you in school, and how many days were you at home?
It's been flip-flopping, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it really changed a lot, and it was a little confusing about when I go to school and when I don't. Before it started as 1 day, and then it kind of progressed on more.
Okay, but now you're going full-time?
Now I'm going full-time.
So you ride a bus. Do you sit with other students on the bus?
Yes, now I actually do sit with a person on the bus.
What are your rules about masks?
Masks in school or on the bus or
both?
Anywhere? Obviously stay 6 feet apart. Trying to the teachers are trying to be more cautious about safely being safe, and it's hard because people want to interact. But teachers really need to staying on top of that a lot.
Okay, so you're in a classroom. Do you have the same number of students that you always had in your classroom now?
Yeah.
Do you sit like you used to sit, or are you still spread out?
I think I'm sitting as I used to sit. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't necessarily do the social distancing anymore.
I need to do social distance. When the period's over, I can't get out of my spot and congregate next to the door for the bell to ring. I have to stay in my seat. Everyone has to stay in their seat and wait till the bell actually rings to go.
What do you do at lunch?
Lunch, it's really weird actually. Lunch, the first day of school, it was so weird. Like, there had to be lots of like distance, like 2 at a table, but like one person like right here, and then wait to like 2 other seats, and then another person, so like 2 a table, and it's really awkward.
Does Auntie have the room? Do they have the space for these rules for the social distancing?
Yeah, the things that I've seen, there's lots of space and distance, but other people could say otherwise.
Now, now that you're back in school, do you have regular classes like you used to have? In other words, is the curriculum, are they leaving things out because of the pandemic? Are they leaving classes out? Or how are they changing the classes, if at all?
The only thing that's really changed much is that in chorus, you have to have the masks on, and when you're singing, it's really hard to like sing well for me.
In chorus, you sing with a mask.
Yes.
So,
Sucks.
you were, with the pandemic, you were homeschooled, you were hybrid schooled for 1 whole year.
Yes.
Did you get to have the same classes that you would have had if there had not been a pandemic? Or do you know?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, I would have had the same classes.
And then there was a summer there. What happened in that summer?
In the summer, it's been really hard to like have a summer of COVID because I've been swimming and skiing and all those types of stuff, and it's been really hard to like keep distance with that.
When you say you did swimming, did you join a swimming class, or were you swimming like in the lakes up in the Hudson Valley?
I'm on a swim team called Xena Rec. It's a Xena Rec swim team, which is really fun. So it's competitively.
So you were doing competitive swimming during the pandemic, and did you have the same number of people on your team that you would regularly have? How did that work?
It's like, how did it work? What do you mean by that?
Well, was your team the same way as it would have been, or do you know if your team is the same? You don't know.
It was small. Like, the team was really small.
The team was small.
Yeah.
Do you know if the team was small because the school required it, or was the team small because people were not on the swimming team?
We're not on the swimming team.
They were not on the swimming team.
No.
So you have spent about a year without your friends.
Basically.
What did you do?
I basically just wrote songs and really try to cope with how to read it and write it and swimming and all those types of stuff. Try to do it by myself and stuff.
But there were no dances, there were no sleepovers.
No.
There were no picnics.
No.
There was nothing.
Nothing.
That's very interesting to me.
Isolation.
That the isolation was pretty severe.
Yes.
And out here in the Hudson Valley and the Catskill Park, there are so many outdoor activities.
I know.
And those just did not happen. Is that true?
No, not all the activities were canceled. I was skiing, riding my bike, and not all of them were canceled.
But if you were riding your bike, hiking, would you have done it by yourself?
No. It's like, I have my family hikes with me and stuff like that, so it's not all by myself, which is good.
So your family helped you to socialize.
Yeah. Basically.
And did you have a best friend before the pandemic?
Far away.
Far away.
Yeah, it's annoying to not see her a lot because she lives far away, so I couldn't really. The only thing I can do was really text her or call her, FaceTime.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah.
How do you think the pandemic has changed your future?
My future. My future. It's been hard because I didn't have lots of experience with other stuff like Rock Academy because there's like some part of stuff was canceled, and I didn't get a lot of experience with other stuff because they were canceled and not an opportunity to do that. But now I'm trying to get back on that stuff like singing and writing.
Do you think you're making up for lost time?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You're trying to make up for lost time?
Yeah, it's really hard to do that when all those like 1 year spent like a decade try to.
By yourself.
Yeah.
By yourself. Let me ask you something. You went to school. You ride a bus. Were you doing Rock Academy before the pandemic or after?
After.
After.
So that was good.
So Rock Academy was something that came after the pandemic started?
Yes.
How did that happen?
I kind of just wanted to get back into it after the pandemic. So it's like when we're trying to start new and stuff like that, I kind of wanted to like start an instrument, and Rock Academy is a really good place to start instruments and work hard on that type of stuff.
So what made you think of Rock Academy?
I really like being on like in groups of people singing, having a good time with people, but like on socially distanced now, but we can go outside and sing. So it's like a break of the masks to like go outside and socially distance.
So how often do you go to Rock Academy?
Right now I'm actually doing a 80s New Wave show, so it's going to be like every 2 weeks. 2 days. Like that.
2 days for every 2 weeks?
2 days a week.
2 days a week.
Yeah.
And when there's not a show, how often do you go?
Not really any. Like I'm trying to like, I'm still trying because this is my first show, so I'm gonna try to go there more often.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand this. You signed up with Rock Academy.
Yeah.
And did you sign up with Rock Academy for classes?
Yes.
Or did you sign up with Rock Academy to work on a show?
Both.
Both. Because what kind of an instrument are you trying to learn?
Piano.
Piano. So do you go for piano lessons over there?
Yes, I go for piano and singing. So
You go for piano lessons and singing lessons at Rock Academy.
Yeah.
And would you do this if there were not a show?
Yeah, I would still do that. Because,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how often do you practice the music?
It's hard because I have classes and I have like lots of quizzes now, but like I'm trying my best to do it.
You're trying your best, and then you have what kind of classes do you have?
I have like all and then I have soccer, so it's like all those types of things, and I have to like try to like memorize.
Well, when you say you have soccer and all those kinds of things, what do you mean? Do you take math?
I take math, social studies, history, science, history.
Wait a minute, math, social studies, history?
Reading, writing, PE, but I like PE. Art, singing, like a lot. Like there's like 9 math, a lot of stuff.
There are 9 classes a day at Ontiara?
Yeah.
And how long is each class?
minutes? I don't know.
Just a few minutes? Now, let me ask you something.
40.
40 minutes. Each
Sorry.
class is about 40 minutes?
Yes.
And will you take, for example, you're going to take reading the whole year? Are there some of those other classes that you may just take for part of the year?
Yes, I'm doing French. So, French is the whole year, but it's hard. I don't know. I kind of want to try to do my best in every class that I can.
So you're doing French.
Yeah.
And what made you choose French?
French, I don't know. It's been like, it feels like there's lots of everyone's doing Spanish, and I just want to try something new.
You just wanted to do something different from the regular. What were your choices? French and Spanish?
It was French and Spanish.
Okay, so you had a choice of two.
Yes.
And so you chose French and you left Spanish alone. And French you're gonna take once a year. You're gonna take one day. That's a class every day.
Yes.
So you're spending a lot of time with French.
Yeah.
And then what about the reading?
Reading, that is second period. So it's like reading, writing, second period. I like reading. I like my teachers. I like my classmates. They're really nice. And it's been easy for me in reading right now. Hope I don't jinx that, but right now it's really good.
Okay, all right. And then what afternoons or how do you go to the Rock Academy?
Rock Academy. So every Tuesday I go to Rock Academy after soccer. So it's like a long day, Tuesdays. So to be honest, I think I do voice lessons first, and then I go to piano. So that's every
Over
Tuesday.
at Rock Academy.
Over at Rock Academy.
Now, do you go to Rock Academy on the bus? In other words, instead of the bus taking you home, it takes you to Rock Academy?
No, my mom takes me to Rock Academy. So after the late bus for soccer, I go to my house, and then my mom drives me to Rock Academy.
So Rock Academy is more of an evening thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you go to all these classes in the daytime, and then you do soccer, and then you go do Rock Academy. Now let me ask you something. Is soccer all year, or does soccer have a season?
Soccer has a season.
Okay, what is the season for soccer?
It ends in December, in 2 weeks.
Okay, so then after December, starting with January, you'll have some extra time from the soccer because you won't be doing soccer. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, so
And then in December, which is I'm gonna do basketball.
oh, so you're gonna instead of soccer, you're gonna be doing basketball.
Yeah.
So a sport is like in your schedule
Yeah.
every day.
Really like sports.
Now, is this something that everybody's doing?
No.
No, this is an elective that you are doing because you are interested in the sports.
That I really like. Yes.
Okay. And that's part of the school, but Rock Academy is on top of all these other things.
Yes.
Do you feel much pressure when test time comes?
Yes, definitely. Oh my God. Yeah. It depends on what subject really, but math definitely. Definitely. Math is a huge struggle for me.
Really?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Math. I mean, it's been really hard because of it's like one of those things that I just don't really get. But I'm trying really hard to know it, but it just doesn't get it for me.
What kind of math are you studying?
I'm doing mx plus b square, mx plus b, algebra.
So you're doing your algebra.
Yeah.
And are you going to do algebra all this year, or are you going to do
I don't know.
You don't know.
I think we're going to do something bigger than that, but it's stepping up.
How many people are in your algebra class?
I don't know, like 10?
Okay, now let me ask you something. Algebra is something that you don't like, and it's not something that you take to naturally. So let's back up now to the pandemic. And how did you deal with algebra during the pandemic when you were not going to school?
That was really hard.
What does that mean?
What was...
That it was really hard. What does that mean? You were at home, correct?
Yeah.
And how did you study algebra by yourself at home?
I had to do flashcards. I had to memorize it a lot, and like write it on paper. Sometimes writing on paper really helps me because if I just do it on computers, then it doesn't really get into my system in books.
So how did you, what I'm trying to find out is I'm trying to find out how your teacher managed to get you through the pandemic. So you have a subject, you have algebra, and with the algebra, you're trying to do it on your own.
I have a teacher that helps me one-on-one, so...
You have a tutor.
Yes.
Did this happen during the pandemic?
Yeah.
So you did have some personal...
Personal, but yeah, when it's just me, then it was really hard to do it.
And does this tutor that you have, was she available to all the students?
No. It depends on like someone who really wants to have help, like has troubles in math, then yeah, she's available, but mostly I needed the help, so I called her help.
So she was available to you?
Yeah.
So that if you realized that you were not doing well in algebra, you could call her up on the telephone and she would, what did she do? Did she come over? Did she have classes on FaceTime? I mean, how did this work?
It was when I was in school. Her classroom was like
But this was during the pandemic?
Pandemic. Sometimes she comes up.
How did that work during the pandemic?
Or FaceTime.
Or FaceTime or whatever?
Yeah.
So she came during class time. She came during what would have been class time?
Yes.
How did that work?
It would have been like if I was doing my homework or something and I needed to call her up, then I would call her up and try to help.
So did everybody have access to her?
No.
They did not.
Not everybody has access to her.
Okay. How did you qualify for access?
I just asked.
You just asked. Okay. Now let me ask you, what other classes could you get tutors?
Not much anything, actually. The only thing that I need help with was really, 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 really badly is in math.
Okay. Now, what about soccer and basketball and things like that? What happened to the sports during the pandemic?
Oh, they were cut off.
They were gone.
They're gone.
Do you know what happened to the teachers?
Teachers and what?
The teacher, the guys that taught the sports. What happened to them do you know what happened to them?
They went along with me on my computer. So I was at home and they were in school, like teaching remotely.
Were they teaching sports or were they teaching other classes?
Just sports.
Just sports. Okay, so they were teaching theory to you during
the pandemic.
And did you have any art classes then?
I forgot something. I had to turn in videos and stuff like that. So like if it was like a sport that I needed to like submit a video to, I had to go on Google Classroom and submit a video to it so they can understand that I understand it.
So, okay, so you did some videos on the computer?
Yes.
Through Google?
Yes.
So that was a whole year that you were doing this?
Yeah. Just about.
And how often did you see your friends during this time?
Once or twice.
Once or twice?
Yeah. That is really depressing.
How about your other friends? Have you gotten together with your friends and discussed the pandemic at all?
Not really. No.
Not really.
No.
So it's like that whole year, everybody's just ignoring it?
Basically. Like, we didn't really talk about it at all. Like, when we are on FaceTime or something, we just talk about, like, how it's been for them, and that's pretty much it, really.
What do you mean you talked about how it's been for them?
Like, how COVID has been, but, like, we didn't really talk about anything else, but, like, when school's starting or what's going on, just how it's been affecting to them.
How it's been affecting to them. How do you think it affected some of your friends?
I'm not really sure. They didn't really get into depth in conversation about that, really. They just said that it's been really hard seeing their other friends and how to cope with that stress and situation.
So you're just moving on.
Yeah.
You're just moving on. Now, let me ask you something. You're in these classes now, and you're riding the bus, and you're wearing a mask in the bus,
Yep.
and you're not sitting side by side.
Oh, yes, and on the bus we're sitting side by side like this.
Yeah.
But it's narrow, like the bus, you know how the seats are. But yeah, it's a little hard to sit two people on the bus at once. So it's like you have to stay there and have to stay here. But
Okay. There's like a blank seat in the middle.
no, there's only two seats.
There's only two seats. Okay, so you're riding the bus, and what about at lunchtime?
Lunchtime. It's really annoying at lunch. It's
It
lunch,
is annoying
lunch?
at lunch. Yes, tell me about it.
Lunch
Let's
is-
discuss it.
Lunch is supposed to be like, for me, like a time to socialize and stuff like that. But then, since the coronavirus, it's been just depressing.
It's been depressing. It's still depressing?
Right now, yeah, it's still depressing. I mean, like, people talk, obviously, but like, there's a new rule now that you can have your phones out to socialize with people, and it's really annoying because there's people like on the other side of the cafeteria that you can't talk to. Like, you have to raise your hand to leave and always put your mask on to go to the bathroom. And yeah.
So you're in the cafeteria, and you can take off your mask.
Yes.
Now, are you taking your lunch, or are you eating a cafeteria lunch?
I take my lunch.
You take your lunch. Do more of the people do cafeteria lunches, or do more people take their lunches?
I think more people take cafeteria lunches. I don't really
You don't know.
tally,
Okay. So you're in the cafeteria, and how many people are at a table?
At a table now, I
Yes.
think like 3, 4. So now it's came a long way since the first day of school.
What happened the first day of school?
The first day of school, it was just like 1 a table, 2 a table at least. Like,
So they've opened it up some more.
for more varieties. Yes.
So it's 3 or 4 people at a table.
No,
And if we didn't have a pandemic, how many people would be at the table?
thousands.
Thousands.
There will be more, not thousands, but like there will be people like 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so you're maybe 50%?
Yeah,
Would you say 50%?
I would say 50%.
Okay. So when you're in line, what is the line like?
Line to go to different classes?
Yeah.
We don't really have a policy of just like in line. We just like go to class. Right there, I think the socially distance should be a little bit more, convenient and like right there. But like they're not socially distanced right there.
They're not?
They're not.
So that's not necessary.
No.
Okay. So you're kind of back to normal going from class to class.
Right now, yes.
So that's good. All right. Now, what about the inoculations? What about the shots? in New York State. Have you gotten the coronavirus shots?
Yes, I've gotten both of them.
You've gotten both of them?
Yes.
And did you get them at school, or how did that work?
I've got both of them at school, but it's been like, I have to wait for like 2 weeks to get the second one.
Right. And did they do everybody in school?
Just I think the ones that they wanted, like that the parents wanted the kids to get them. I think other kids got them at different places, but most of the kids that I know.
So the shots are optional?
At the school.
At the school.
But a lot of, mostly everybody in my grade in school got the shot, but not only at the school, like another place too.
Now, are you in classes with children who have not gotten the shot?
I don't know. There's some people who have different political stands in my grade in school, but I'm not sure I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure, but I think like 99% sure that people have all their shots, hopefully.
Well, that's something. That's a huge thing for you, for it not to be an important, that it not be a focus. It's just part of your life. So you're getting back to normal that way.
Yes.
And you're in the 8th grade now?
Yeah.
So you're going to be in the 9th grade next year?
Mm-hmm.
And we've got December coming up. So are there any parties planned?
Parties. I don't know, maybe an October dance, like for Halloween, but we don't really know yet. It's up in the air right now.
We don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
Still don't know.
Still don't know.
Well, that's okay. So when you make it into the 9th grade, where are you going to go?
Like classes?
Yeah, what school?
Oh, I'm going to stay at Ontiora.
You stay at Ontiora, and you're going to be on the bus. Everybody rides the bus.
Not everybody rides the bus. Some people take cars, carpools, and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. For some reason, I thought everybody rode the bus. Isn't that interesting? I was completely wrong on that one. Now, this is a whole new world for me. Let me ask you one other thing. What about the library?
Library. It's the teachers in there are strict. Like you need to stay.
What does that mean? What does strict mean?
Like you need to stay in your seat. You can't, when you want to pick out a book, you have to wash your hands. And right after, wash your hands. And if you want to take a book out, you have to really be cautious about where to put it and stuff like that.
So you are allowed to check out books?
Yes, you are allowed to check out books.
And do you check out books?
Yes, I've been checking out books.
And where have you been finding time to read them?
Read probably like on the bus if I really wanted to.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but on the bus I'm trying to like talk to people to socialize. Maybe after school. Yeah. After school, like when I get off on the bus again, try to be a little not where other people are because I get distracted a lot.
Well, that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
So now, let me ask you something. So you're in school, you have all these classes that you're taking, and then you're doing sports. And right now you're in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come back from the holidays, you're going to start basketball.
And skiing.
So what time of the day, I'm trying to go back now to the Rock Academy. Mm-hmm. What time of the day do you go over to Rock Academy?
I go on 6 days, 6:30 at night. 6:30 at night.
Okay, till what?
Till 9? Yeah, I think 9. I don't really need
to... Now, you're there how many days of the week? How many evenings?
Right now, only 2. 1.
2.
2. 1. Right now, only 1.
Right now, only 1. Okay. So you're working with Rock Academy to be in a show?
Yes.
Do you know the name of the show?
The 80s New Wave.
The 80s New Wave.
Yeah.
And so tell me about this show. What's happening?
So it's all booked, which is good. I'm singing Take On
What do you
Me.
mean it's all booked?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like everybody, it's like it's sold out. Like you can't, like new other people can't come in. Like it's all the kids, it's max kids that's are in it,
You're talking about people who are in the show.
who are in the show. It's,
Okay, so they have the cast.
yeah.
And so you're part of that.
Yes.
Okay. So when did they choose this one?
What did they choose?
When did they choose the cast?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So you're practicing, and do you know when the show is going to go?
I don't know right now.
They don't have a date yet.
They have a date, but I just forgot it. But I have it on my calendar.
So you're working now on learning the songs?
Yes.
So when you go for practicing and you go for singing and for piano playing, is that what you're working on?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So you work on a keyboard?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm learning still.
Wow. So you go once a week on the keyboard. And then now do you work at home? Do you have time to work at home?
Yeah, I have a keyboard at home, but as I said, it's been really hard after soccer and all of that. But yeah, I've been trying to do my scales and finding middle C and stuff like that.
So at what point, tell me about, I'm trying to get a picture of how you decided to go into the Rock Academy.
Like why I wanted to?
Like, when did you go? Did you just decide one day, I want to go to the Rock Academy?
What?
Did you just decide one day you want to go?
There's lots of kids that I know that go into Rock Academy and they loved it, and I saw one of the shows, which was really, really, really nice, and I really wanted to be in one. So I want to meet new people, and that's gonna be another way of doing that.
Yes, because especially since you were out there, everybody was out there by themselves for so long. I guess there wasn't any Rock Academy much then,
Yeah.
during the pandemic. Okay, so at what point, tell me about how you got into the Rock Academy.
People I know, they always suggested it to me and saying that, Kaiye, you should do this. You're a great singer. I mean, I'm trying, and I just always took into consideration. I never did it, but now I'm doing it, and I really
Well,
enjoy
now
it.
okay, so you took it under consideration and now you're doing it. What I'm trying to do is find out this path from taking it into consideration to doing it. Did you pick up the telephone? What did you do to go to the Rock Academy?
My mom made me go.
Your mom made you go.
Yes.
So she was
She was my go-to person
she was your go-to
to drive me.
Did you ask her to go to Rock Academy?
Yeah.
So you went to your mom and you told your mom you wanted to go to the Rock Academy, and then what did she do?
She thought it was a great idea, so she agreed to do it, and I really am glad that she did.
So she got on the phone and talked to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you went over there. Did you have an audition? How did you get in? What happened when you went in the first day?
Paperwork. I didn't have to audition. I just had to do paperwork.
You just had to do paperwork.
And
And then, so you filled out the paperwork.
money.
And money, paperwork and money. Okay, and so, well, that's usually the way it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's usually paperwork and money. So then you started out with classes. And you were by yourself in those classes?
Yes.
So,
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
And the teacher. So one-on-one and the teacher.
One-on-one and a teacher. And so what did you do first? Did you do the singing or did you do the piano,
The singing first, then piano.
You did the singing first. So was that when you started doing the singing? I'm trying to find the path now. So when you started doing the singing, is that what you thought you were going to do?
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you decide to add the keyboard?
Like right after, because I really wanted to like do singing songwriting, so I wanted to have an instrument to play with it, to go along with it, so I don't have to have another person to try to do the music.
So what you're saying is, and you have not said this before, so this is an important thing. You're saying that you wanted to do some songwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel that the piano is like a tool
To help me.
to help you write songs.
Yes.
And tell me about the songs that you were writing.
One song I did was about COVID, which was good, and is about all the experiences that I had, and like I maybe exaggerated one line, which is going on that cruise. I didn't go on a cruise, but like it kind of rhymed with it, and I really enjoyed making it. Like I was in my room when I heard the news. I was actually. My mom called me down to say like, Kaiye, you look on the news, like there's lots of people dying of this thing, and yeah, that's how it all started for me.
So when your mother told you that the school was closed?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when you started writing songs?
I wrote songs like for really long periods of time, but that was the first time I got the song called Die Out.
You said you wrote songs for a really long period of time. What does that mean, honey?
For, since I was like 10.
Since you were a little kid.
So I was a little kid.
And what kind of songs did you write?
I've always liked to write like sad songs and like love songs, even though it's like not about me. It's about other people's perspective of how they felt. And, it's like how they wanted to understand the situation.
So, how many songs do you think you've written?
I'm really good at beginnings. Of finishing it is really hard for me. But I've been writing, let's say, 10.
10 songs? That means you finished 10 songs or you've started 10?
Started.
That's okay. Because, starting a song is one thing. But then doing the complete song is another thing. That's another thing.
I've completed wait, have I completed 10 songs? Yeah, yes, I completed 10 songs, but I've had more songs than I didn't complete, which was more.
What does your music teacher say? What your singing teacher and your keyboard teacher, what do they say about that?
Say about how I sing? And
about how you have started these, but you have not necessarily completed them?
Always try to finish, and they always said that they liked them a lot, but you have to try to finish them to get people to know them.
Now, do you have a book where you're keeping these songs together?
Yep.
You have your book. What do you call your book?
Like thought book, like writing down thoughts about what I have, like what I've known and what I've been through.
Your journal. Would that be a journal?
Yeah.
But if it's about music, would it be a music journal? Would it be a song journal?
It would be a song journal.
It would be a song journal. Because I know that when you begin to write things, sometimes it takes a long time before you can actually finish it.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, but that's just part of the process. Some people do write the complete song right from the very beginning, but a lot of people do not. And so when you write your things, do you also write the music that goes with it?
No, I haven't. That's why I'm trying to take up piano to kind of memorize like the lines and like the music to go with it. But I've been that's why I go to Rock Academy, to try to get other people to try to help me with the music.
Do you think you're going to have trouble with the music?
Yes. I need to try to remember writing down stuff, like writing down like notes.
Writing down notes and things. So tell me what your journal looks like.
The journal, it looks like the first song, I obviously have to date them, because if I don't date the pages, then I would never know when I started them.
Isn't that the truth? Boy, that's an important thing.
That's the best part.
That's an important thing. Okay. So what else does it look like?
Kind of just like scribbles, like notes. Obviously, I have to try to memorize like what it is, because if I don't memorize, if I write it too like unneatly, then I wouldn't know what I said.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and write things?
Yes, I always do that. And then my mom's like, go to bed, like you have school tomorrow. Yeah. So I have to try to just go to bed when it's time, not keep up with all the thoughts in my head.
That's great. Now, what does your keyboard teacher say to you?
Right now we're just trying to like scales and like memorizing the kind of like the basics of like, you know, the C scale, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the ABCs and stuff like that.
Can you read music?
I'm trying. It's hard.
Have you tried to play songs that other people have written? In other words, do you have a songwriter that is someone that you think
Look
about?
up to?
Yeah.
I really look up to Alicia Keys. She's amazing. I really like how she can sing and play the piano at the same time, and how she did the 2 pianos. It was just phenomenal for me. Really cool.
So that's good. That's a person that you're looking forward to. Now, have you thought about any other instruments as well?
No, not really.
So Alicia Keys is where it's at.
Yeah, she's really cool.
When you listen to music, who do you listen to?
Adele, Alicia, Rihanna, a little bit. Florida Georgia Line, Pink. Kind of like all those type of places.
Yeah. And do you watch movies? Do you watch videos?
Documentaries?
Anything. I'm just trying to find out what you watch.
Sometimes I watch documentaries. I watched the Pink documentary. It was really cool. I like comedies. I like things that make me laugh. I don't like things that will keep me up at night.
Do you ever watch musical programs? In other words, do you watch movies that are basically
Like
musicals?
Yeah. Yeah, I watch musicals. Kinky Boots, Rent. What else? I watched a lot. I just completely forgot all those other ones. High School Musical, but that's not really a music. I mean, yeah.
Do you think at some point in the future you're going to go to New York to see a Broadway play? Have you done that?
I have done that. Way before COVID ever happened. Kinky Boots, yeah. I've done that. It's been really fun. Mamma Mia, yeah. I'm still going on. Lion King. I love Lion King. Ever since I was small, I loved Lion King.
Yes. So you do have, because Broadway opened this week. So I know have you been thinking about possibly going there?
Yeah, I really wanted to. Maybe I don't know when, but I really hope I can get a possibility.
That's a good summer program. Well, now let me ask you something. As far as your music is concerned and your writing is concerned, what is summer school going to be like over there at the Rock Academy?
I don't know.
You don't know yet? Because no, I'm not going to say that. Let me say this. Are you planning, do you think, to take some classes in the summer somewhere?
In the summer, yes, of course. I'd love to do as much as I can in the industry of Rock Academy.
So you're pretty well going to be with the Rock Academy as much as you can.
Yes.
What about how does art figure into this? Does art figure into it at all?
Art, kind of like the varieties of songs and how I need to cope with other type of music, not other than pop. Like 80s, 70s, 60s.
What about costumes?
Costumes? I'm not sure. I think like maybe it might fit in with like an 80s, maybe like for the play, like some 80s.
Okay, so your focus
clothes.
really is primarily music.
Yeah, I didn't really like.
Primarily music. Do you have any classmates that are also at Rock Academy?
Yeah, they're not in my classes though. They're in other classes, but I talk to them.
What does that mean they are in other classes?
They're in other types of. They're in other. They're in the same classes as me, but in different times.
At different times. Are they in your grade?
Yes, they're in my grade.
They are in your grade. What about, I'm trying to find out now, when you are at Rock Academy, what is the age range of your fellow students at Rock Academy?
Since you're like 6 to like, I don't know, 17, 18.
Okay, so there's a wide
gap.
range. There's a big gap. And so everybody's there working on it.
Yes.
And everybody's taking classes and things like that. So
Yeah.
that sounds like a lot of fun. Do you see yourself doing special projects in the summer?
Yes, I want to, as I said, I want to do as much as singing and being on stage as possible, so I can get in the groove about like dancing, getting people to know who I am with singing as much as possible.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, what is your full name?
Kaiye Kaler Shinnery.
Okay, now Kaiye, have you thought about your name?
So I thought about my name. I know that my name means forgiveness in other languages, which is really good and it fits in my name a lot.
What I'm thinking of is, have you thought about what people are gonna call you?
I don't know. On my YouTube channel is Kaiye KC. So
Kaiye KC.
yeah.
Okay, now it's Kaiye and then the letter K and then the letter C. That's what you have now.
Kaiye Kaler Shinnery.
Okay, Kaiye KC. And how did you come to that name? How did you come to that?
My other mom wanted me to have like an initial name for like my YouTube channel for people to like abbreviate to it.
So you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
Just a year.
Tell me about tell us about your YouTube channel.
I had one song already that I did in LA like 1 year ago. Yeah.
What does that mean? You did 1 year ago. What does that mean?
I put on a YouTube channel song on my channel 1 year ago, and it's a song that I made, and my producer did the music.
So you wrote the lyrics.
Yes.
And somebody else did the music.
Yes.
And was that done locally?
Like it was on computer, so I had to like get there, and he had to get the song from me, and then he had to get it.
And you sang it.
I sang it
on YouTube. And is that what you have done so far on YouTube?
That's the only thing I had done.
Is that the only thing that you have done?
On YouTube?
On
Yes.
YouTube. That's all you've done on YouTube. Have you thought about, I don't know how you're going to fit it into your time, but have you thought about adding things to
Adding things. Yes, I am actually making a song right now. I made a song. I did the my mom, who's right here actually, but you can't see her. She is a photographer, so she had shots taken of me as a video, but it's not done yet. But I'll let you guys know when it is. So just let me know if you guys like it. It's gonna be dropping soon.
So that might be fun. You have, how many songs did you say you have finished?
10.
10. So when you say that you have finished those songs, does that mean you can sing them?
Yeah.
That means you can sing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Have you thought about having 10 videos?
I wish. I really
wish.
really want that.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yes.
To have those 10 videos.
I really want that.
Now, if you do those 10 videos, are you going to play the music for those 10 videos?
Play the music as in,
On the keyboard.
that's the goal.
That's your goal.
That's the goal for me.
That's good. So you're going to do all these other things with the Rock Academy, but this is your goal,
It's kind of leading up to that.
is working up to that. That's excellent. I think that's wonderful. So when do you write these songs?
Actually, I actually made 2 songs at the Rock Academy when last summer I did 2 of the camps were about songwriting, and one of them was a demo about that you had to write about a song.
See what just happened? We have 3 minutes.
Oh.
So now what we have to do is we have to tell everybody goodbye.
Okay.
And so we are now going to say goodbye to Kaiye KC.
Oh my
and
God.
that's how we can find you on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you know what else? You're going to now have 2 channels, two videos, because this one is going to go on Kaiye KC also. And then you're going to also be on Let's Live at Thurman Greco. And if somebody is interested in contacting you, can they contact you through the Rock Academy?
No, they can't contact me for the Rock Academy.
How can they contact you?
My mom?
Okay, how do we do this, Mom?
Do I just say the name?
How do we do this?
They can reach us at parttimepictures@mail.com.
Part-time pictures at mailtime.com.
No, at
Mail.com.
At mail.com.
Oh my God.
Part-time pictures at mail.com.
At mail.com.
Listen, you never know. You never know. You want to always let somebody be able to get in touch with you if they have an opportunity. And it's up to Mom to decide whether it's an opportunity or right. Right? Okay.
That's right.
That's great. And I look forward to having you visit us also on YouTube at Let's Live at Thurman Greco. And thank you very much. This has been a total delight.
Thank you.